I have bought 27 of the greatest Xbox accessories ever made, and in this video, I'm going to test every single one of them. First, let's start with this massive box. You can't see me. So I've purchased the Logitech G920, I think, the best-selling racing wheel for the Xbox Series X. In addition to what's included inside of the box, you can also purchase a gear shifter to sort of take your simulator to the next level. Probably one of the best features about this Logitech steering wheel is the fact that it is super lightweight, which means you don't have to go and purchase something like an entire racing simulator to actually use it correctly. It can just mount to your desk. It's not going to cause like any bowing to your desk. It just mounts on here and it does the job. Also, the pedals aren't too bad that actually come included. You get like a full clutch system, little metal face plates on the front of them. You got your clutch, and everything just fell out the box. Oh man. But as I was saying about the pedals, probably the coolest feature is the included carpet grip that you can just ping out, and that means the pedals won't be sliding around on the floor if you do opt to use this with a desk.
The Logitech G920 is probably one of the best advanced steering wheels that you can buy for the Xbox. It's not the cheapest, but it's also not a crazy price like you can get from other options in the market, which of course do offer much more simulation. But with 900 degrees of rotation, a strong and powerful dual motor force feedback mechanism, this Logitech wheel does provide smooth, accurate simulation of traction loss, weight shift, and drifting to help you feel every bump in the road. It's a great starting point if you're looking at taking things a little more seriously and want to level up your racing setup, whilst future-proofing yourself at the same time.
Now, if that steering wheel is a little bit out of your budget, next we've got this Xbox One mini steering wheel that you can use with your controller. Now, this is probably one of the worst Xbox accessories probably ever made because its build quality is awful, and also it's really difficult to attach to the controller. Basically, it clips into the old microphone port on your controller, and then you attach it to the thumbsticks. And then basically from this point, you can use this as a steering wheel within Forza, F1, whatever racing games you like to play. But there are some further issues with the design. So in order for you to access this thumbstick, you have this little attachment that clips on here, which works great. However, you can't look left at all because it bumps into the actual steering wheel attachment. So you won't be able to look left in any of your racing games, only right. And the next problem is the steering wheel, although it kind of works, in essence, it's miles out of sync with the actual video game. Sure, you can adjust the sensitivity to make it match up a bit better, but it's no more accurate than just using this thumbstick. But although this is awful, probably one of the best features is the fact that it glows in the dark, which is pretty cool. So next up, we've got some modifications that you can actually do to your console. We've seen these before in my previous video when we tested some Xbox hacks out, but I found even more that are just way more impressive. First, let's take a look at the Xbox RGB fan mods. But I wasn't a huge fan of the stick-on RGB lights for the base plate because it came off super easily. After it was on for a while, it sort of lost its stickiness. So I went online and found this alternative option for the Xbox Series X that had RGB lights built into the actual stand. And once it's all set up, these are the final results, which look pretty cool. However, this stand doesn't just work with the Xbox Series X, it is also compatible with the Xbox Series S. You literally throw it in like this, and then you have a place to hold your controller. I think it goes in like that. There we are. So you've got a little dock for both the Series S, controller, and some cool lights. And because the Xbox Series S is wide, it does illuminate the colors much better. On the topic of lights for the Xbox Series S, since making that Xbox hacks video, they went out and actually released some RGB lights for inside of the console.
I was really excited to see the final results of these RGB lights for the Series S, but fitting them was an absolute nightmare compared to the Series X. On the Series X, it was way easier. You just literally connect them to the fan header and stuck them to the fan, and that was pretty much it. But because the Series S is so much smaller and compact, there's hardly any space to cable manage all of the excess cables caused by the RGB strips. This results in you spending hours sticking all of these cables down, and then unfortunately, when I closed the Series S back together, it actually damaged one of the cables. So although I had got it working and it looked awesome, as soon as I tried to rebuild my console, it was a complete waste of time.
Now, on top of all of this, if that still isn't enough RGB for you, next we've got this little hat for the Xbox Series X that is an additional cooling fan, which I don't really understand why you need. It's not like these things overheat as they are, but it also adds like a pyramid style thing to your console with RGB lights. It's got some additional like fan dust covers, which again seem a little bit pointless, but it's worth a try. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so it just slips into place. It does what it says. It's definitely cooling it. way more than the regular fan does, but it seems unnecessary. I can't even get that to click on. I don't think anyone needs this. Makes your console probably 3 times, 5 times louder and looks ridiculous.
On this cooling fan, there are 2 buttons which you can use for adjusting the fan speed and also changing the RGB light modes.
Next up, we've got a pretty standard Xbox accessory, which is the Xbox Series Elite 2 controller. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Series Elite 2 controller, but this year, it got a little bit more budget-friendly and also interesting with the release of the core model. Now, the core model is exactly the same as the regular Xbox Series Elite 2, the only difference being is the fact it's white, and also it doesn't come included with any of the accessories. And the fact these accessories are excluded from the bundle is why it's cheaper. However, it is a little bit of a scam, because to purchase this, plus the accessories bundle to get the full functionality of a regular Series Elite 2, it actually costs more buying everything separate than just purchasing the regular black version. Now, I've actually gone out and purchased the accessories pack just to show you what you're missing, and this thing cost me about £55. It was pretty expensive. So usually the key features of a Series Elite 2 controller are basically you get this controller with your adjustable triggers and the back paddles and the changeable thumbsticks, and you can adjust the tension of the thumbsticks. A lot of cool stuff. Plus, you also get these accessories such as a carrying bag. It also has an internal battery, so you charge it up with the included docks and stuff. And then, as well, inside of your carrying case, you get all of your additional stuff, such as those thumbsticks, the paddles, and the different D-pads. You can take the D-pads off and switch those out as well. But with the core model, all you get is just the controller and the charging cable. You don't even get the back paddles on the back of the controller, which I think is ridiculous because that is a core feature of the Series Elite 2. I'm not really that bothered about all of the other garbage you get, like these thumbsticks. It's a bit of an overrated feature, really. But to not include these back paddles, I think is a little bit cheeky. So if you were to purchase this accessories bundle, you would get the charging dock to allow you to basically dock your controller onto here for it to charge instead of just plugging it into the console. And then as well, obviously, you get all of your thumbsticks that you can switch out on the controller itself, and you start customizing it. You get a secondary D-pad, so you can switch this one out, and of course, you also get the back paddles, which should be included. Now, I actually think probably a lot of people don't care about all of that stuff that comes in the accessories bundle, and all they want are the back paddles. So if you go on Amazon, you can actually pick up the back paddles for as little as like £9.99, basically £10. You can pick up the back paddles that you're missing on your controller and complete this. So at least you get the cool white controller, much cheaper than the black version, and you get the functionality that you want. Now, these aren't an official Xbox product. They are made by a third party, which means they are slightly different in terms of their size. So if we compare them to the one on my actual Series Elite 2 controller from last year, they're a little bit bigger on the fake versions, which makes them feel a little bit more spongy and less clicky like these ones, but it does the job and it completes your controller without spending a fortune.
Now, if you're not impressed by the offerings of the Series Elite 2 controllers, you could always make your very own custom-made gaming pad. When I was browsing on Amazon, I discovered a huge range of controller mods that let you personalize things, and I purchased some of the coolest ones that I could find. These are RGB controller lights that will illuminate your buttons and also the thumbsticks, which is quite interesting. Then adding to this, I also found a transparent controller shell which exposes the insides of the controller, similar to the 20th anniversary controller officially released by Xbox. However, combining this with our controller lights, things could begin to look pretty cool. Now, as cool as these controller mods look, I really wouldn't recommend doing any of them. Taking the controllers apart takes hours, and actually you run a high risk of actually damaging the controller, so it doesn't even end up working at all. But we are missing one key feature, and that is the color changing Xbox light. Unfortunately, we don't have the same software to change this on the regular Xbox controller, but for $5.99, we can match the cool look of the Xbox Series Elite 2 by using these gels. There are also versions of these for the power buttons too if you want to customize that.
So next up, we've probably got one of my favorite accessories that we're taking a look at in this video. Now, this is the Xbox Series X monitor that basically lets you turn your console into like a portable gaming device or even like a laptop replacement for on-the-go gaming. Now, we took a look at this a while ago for the Xbox Series S. In fact, it was perfect for the Xbox Series S because of how compact that console is. But this one takes things to another level. Now, the major difference with this Series X version, other than the fact it works with the Series X, is that it is 4K. So the one for the Series S is 1080p, whereas this is a UHD monitor, so it's Ultra HD. I don't really feel like it's going to impact anything because it's so small at 12.5 inches as the actual display size. Like, I don't really think you're going to see the massive impact of 4K versus 1080p at this level, but nice to have. Let's have a look. Oh, nice. Right, so how do we attach this? Let's have a wee look. that clips into this little hole here. Get it in there. Yeah, there we go. Clicks in. That's nice. That's actually really good. Little fit there. Doesn't that? Yeah, it does add a bit of weight actually. It's quite heavy. You've got your power buttons, you've got your different sources, because this does actually have 2 HDMI sources at the back. So you see here we've got a 4K 60Hz and also a 4K 30Hz option available to you, so you can connect 2 devices to this. Now there is also an accessories box that comes with these HDMI cables plus your power supply, so you do have a media remote for actually turning the display on and off, you know, switching your outputs and things. They're quite good, these remotes, to be fair. And then you have your included really short HDMI cable, so you've not got a huge excess cable going everywhere. I think for the price of about £280, it's not a bad deal, like a 4K display that's so well designed like this. Now, if you're obviously going to be taking your console on the go, you're also going to need to get yourself a carry bag. So here we have an Xbox Series X carrying case, which basically is like a laptop bag that you would have for your laptop, but because we've turned our Xbox into a laptop, we need a carrying case for this. So we can crank this thing open, and it should, according to the post, actually fit the entire console into it, plus like controllers and various accessories. Oh, there's a little protective case it comes with. So it's got a little cover for the Xbox controller. Look at that. So keep your controller safe while it doesn't get scratched in the bag. Shoulder strap, and then boom, this is the main event here. So you've got a little pouch for throwing all your power cables inside. Over here, we've got, again, further pouches for throwing your controllers in, any games or whatever you might wish to take. And then your console should just slot straight on in to this bag. Can we get it in? And then, boom, you can zip it up. Not bad. Imagine taking this to school, just ragging up to school with your Xbox, with your portable screen, and just playing some games with your mates at like dinner time. That would have been class back in the day if we had stuff like this. It's actually quite comfy. I can walk around with my Xbox in my bag. My Xbox is in a box. That's class. On the topic of taking your Xbox on the go, you're gonna need some snacks. So this is an accessories bag that you can purchase that comes with a load of different things for you to take your food to school or whatever. So you got your little sandwich box. Then inside you got another box for your fruit or whatever you want, and then another box, and that's it, that's the end. So you got all these different sized boxes for your dinner or lunch, whatever you call it. And then as well you get your water bottle. I can't really see myself taking this bad boy to the gym and looking pretty awesome with that, but it's quite small as well. You might want a bit more liquid than that when you go, but you can take your snacks for your gaming session with your portable bag. You've got everything sorted.
Back at home, if you want to complete your gaming setup for the ultimate Xbox fanboys watching this video, I found these epic Xbox t-shirts, Xbox mugs, and also Xbox desk lights. Now all of this is cool, but if I really want to impress the ladies on my phone, we definitely need this Xbox bedding. That jumping pillow will have a whole new meaning.
So this is one that I'm particularly excited to try out. Oh, that was a bit of a thud. So this is the official sort of Microsoft Flight Simulator steering wheel or flight controls, whatever you want to sort of describe them as. Very similar to the steering wheel that we just had a look at, but this one's by Turtle Beach, and it's obviously for flying aeroplanes. Let's try this out. So this is an official Xbox product. It's got all the mod cons on. You've got your HOTAS, whatever it's called, basically the steering wheel, and then the throttles for doing the rudders and all sorts. I don't think it has pedals. We'll find out. Let's just go for it. Hope for the best. Come on. It's got our little manual stuff there. Don't need those. Flight control-y stuff. Some stickers that we can write on what they are. I think that's some more stickers there. Oh, that's reeks. I'm gonna pass out. Like, oh. This is a bit of a brute of a device, actually. Wow, that's really cool.
The Turtle Beach Velocity 1 is probably the most impressive Xbox accessory in this video. The push-pull yoke has a true-to-life 180 degrees of rotation and is also complete with a flight management display that shows in-game data. But the cool features don't end here. The throttle quadrant is modular, letting you get the perfect setup for either huge aeroplanes or smaller aircrafts. There are also integrated rudder controls and various switches which give you easy access to everything you need when flying, really help leveling things up from using an Xbox controller. There are further programmable buttons and also button mapping plates that are switchable. These just magnetize onto the wheel. But probably my favorite feature is the integrated headphone jack, making it super easy to still be able to chat with all of your friends without needing to own a wireless headset.
So if you're wanting to take your Xbox Series X or Series S setup to the next level, a pretty convenient solution are some console stickers. Now, I tried my hardest to get some really cool ones like the R2-D2 and also some ones for Minecraft, but for some reason, like, everywhere was out of stock. I don't know whether they weren't allowed to sell them anymore for like licensing issues because they're not like official products, or just they're really popular with people. So instead, I found these FORNITE ones that look a little bit dated. It's like the old FORNITE wallpaper wrap, but they'll do the job. These look a lot better than I thought. I thought the console stickers would look so bad. I really didn't expect the stickers, regardless of whether you like this design or not. I didn't expect the stickers ever to actually line up really well, so you could access the power button, the eject button, even the rubber feet at the back. Very well shaped. That looks pretty nice. What do you think? Would you wrap your console in FORTNITE stickers? Nice, cool. So one final piece of RGB that we've got, if we haven't already got enough, is this RGB charging cable. So straight out of the box, it looks pretty awful, but the magic happens when we plug it in. Oh, that's a little bit disappointing. It's not that bright. That's awful. It's not bright at all. That's disappointing. Definitely not worth it. Let's switch the lights out. No difference at all. So even with the lights off, it just literally illuminates the front and then the back. Nothing else happens. That's pointless. Don't buy that.
I got a load of hate for discussing the Strike mod pack in another video, and I think there was a little bit of a misunderstanding. You see, I was never advocating that you should use it, but more trying to raise awareness that these things actually exist, and will explain why you sometimes come across those players that are just way too good to be legit. But regardless of the cheats in the mod pack, the additional paddles are quite useful for creating a budget Series Elite controller. You know, you don't have to use them. However, I did manage to find a much less controversial mod pack from Big One. This Armor X Pro adds a variety of very interesting features. The first one is the wireless rechargeable battery pack, which saves you from having to use disposable AA batteries, but also adds further functionality, which is 4-in-1 multi-platform connectivity, letting you use your Xbox controller on a wide range of different consoles and devices. There are also additional buttons and paddles added to the rear of the controller that you can map using macros and a range of different things. But probably the coolest feature is the Gyrocon motion control, which adds gyroscope aiming, very similar to the PlayStation controller.
Now this wouldn't be an Xbox accessories video without some solutions for storage. Right here, I've got the world's smallest Xbox. Well, kind of, but not really. You see, this is actually an SSD storage drive for putting extra games onto that looks just like an Xbox Series S. Just look at how tiny that is in my hand. This is available in a bunch of different drive speeds and has some quite impressive speeds at up to 2060 megabytes a second and supports USB 3.1 Gen 2, making it a fast and perfect solution for your past generation games on Xbox Game Pass. But there is a huge problem. You see, this thing costs almost as much as an official Seagate expansion card. And the thing is, the Seagate expansion card is faster and also is more capable. It supports Series S and X optimized games, so it kind of makes sense to go for this instead. Just doesn't have the cool factor.
The Seagate expansion card is pricey, but I do think it is totally worth it. It makes using your console so easy. The way it slots into the back of the console and instantly adds more space is very user-friendly and also keeps your setup tidy without any external drives dangling off of your TV stand. It also supports any type of game you wish to play in your console, past generation, next generation, nothing is a problem. On the topic of downloading extra games, a must-have if you're a gamer is Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. This gives you loads of games to play and enjoy, and also download on your new storage. But also, it includes Xbox Live Gold membership and also access to Xbox Game Pass on a Windows PC. So if you're also a PC gamer, you can enjoy all of the benefits on that platform too. Oh, and also, here are 2 free codes plus another one that I randomly dropped earlier in this video.
Now, if you are going to be playing online, you're obviously going to need a top quality headset. Now, right here, I have got the official Xbox wireless headset. Now, I don't actually use this headset personally. I have some super cheap SteelSeries Arctix 3 that does the job. However, since switching over to the H9 InZones headset on my gaming PC from my PS5, I've noticed the lack of audio quality and the huge difference in audio quality. So I wanted to upgrade to something a little bit more impressive myself.
You can experience high-quality audio with a low-latency, 100% wireless connection to your Xbox console without the need for a dongle or base station. The official Xbox headset supports various different spatial audio technologies such as Dolby Atmos, providing realism and audio precision that fully surrounds you. And probably one of my favorite features are the rotatable earphones, which I use for adjusting the volume of the headset and also the audio mix between your gameplay and your friends within your Xbox party chat. It's a super clean design.
Now, there's a lot of controversy over wireless headphones because of latency and all them type of things, but I think if you're casually gaming on your sofa, just playing some games with your mates, I think the convenience factor of them outweighs all of those cons, because you can just throw them on, you don't have to worry about a wire, you can like walk off and get a drink and grab some snacks and leave your controller on the table. But also, probably the biggest con for me with wireless headphones is remembering to charge them. That's the only factor that is a little bit of a negative.
Now, if all of the stuff we've taken a look at in today's video isn't enough, there is one much simpler accessory that you could purchase. You can't really go wrong with a special or limited edition Xbox controller. These come in a variety of different designs, and some are rarer than others. And in fact, if you purchase the correct controller, they can even go up in value. For example, this Halo Infinite Series Elite 2 controller cost me £180 last year, and now sells for over £400 1 year later.
But regardless of the rarity of the controller you purchase, sometimes these special designs can let you express your unique character within your gaming setup. And a very recent release that I'm a huge fan of is this mineral camo. It looks a little bit like Sully from Monsters Inc.
If you enjoyed today's video, consider subscribing because only 6.5% of you actually are. But if you want to see me test some of the greatest Xbox hacks ever, you should check out this video next.